whip?
Watch me, Nene.
Mom? What do you want? You're standing on my foot.
Oh, why didn't you just say so?
I'm a good yoga friend tonight. I'm a couple 100 miles from Japan tonight.
Hello and happy Mother's Day to all my mothers out there and all my dads that are being moms out there. Today we're going to do part 2 of Women Who Kill. This is Yolanda Saldivar and Selena Quintanilla Perez. We're going to get into the day by day, everything that happened, the relationship, the way that everybody was working behind the scenes. Okay, so stay tuned. So who is Selena? Selena was an up-and-coming Tejano superstar who was just starting to be recognized in the United States. Now, although she was born in America and did not speak Spanish, she appealed to the Latin community with her amazing voice and her wonderful stage presence. As she was preparing to launch her crossover album in the States in 1995, she was brutally murdered by her former fan club president, Yolanda Saldivar. Selena reached superstardom after her death, as many people in the States didn't know who she was until that time, myself included. Selena was born April 16th in 1971. She's a 3811 life lesson. She was, in essence, the Queen of Cups. Selena's soul vibration is a 34-7, and she would often speak about how she trusted the wrong people and they would end up burning her. However, she had a great heart. She took great care of the people in her world. Her path of destiny is a 69-6, which gave her a fine eye for fashion. She launched her boutiques that carried her clothing designs. Her personal year was a 43-7, and she once again placed her trust where it didn't belong with Yolanda. And she had given her management of her boutiques. But Yolanda's managing style created a lot of complaints. She was being abusive, and people would send money into the fan club and they wouldn't get anything back. So at some point, her father, her sister, and her had a meeting with Yolanda and asked, where's the money, where are the receipts? And at the same time, Selena had a really hard time believing that Yolanda would burn her because she really trusted her. But she finally resigned herself to the fact that she was going to fire Yolanda. Selena had made an agreement to meet Yolanda at her hotel room March 31st, 1995. Upon arriving at Yolanda's hotel room, the two engaged in an argument, and Selena dumped out Yolanda's satchel, and there was a gun. So Yolanda grabbed the gun, and she shot Selena in the back as she was running away, severing a major artery. Rapidly losing blood, Selena ran to the hotel lobby where she collapsed after identifying her shooter. Selena had lost so much blood that her veins collapsed by noon and she had no vitals. Her pupils were fixed and dilated. She was declared brain dead. In an effort to resuscitate her, the doctors tried blood transfusions. They administered drugs to her heart. They gave her 50 minutes of trying to get her back, and they finally pronounced her dead at 1:05 p.m. on March 31st, 1995. So this brings us up to Yolanda. Yolanda Saldivar was born September 19th, 1960. Her life lesson is a 44-8. Her soul vibration is a 19-1. Her path of destiny is a 59-5. Yolanda came on the scene in 1991 when she begged Abraham to let her start a fan club. Abraham said she called 15 times, but of course Yolanda says it was only 3 times. Eventually, they allowed her to start the fan club in June of that year. Yolanda was in a 59-5 personal year at that time, her path of destiny. Yolanda met Selena in December 1991. We could call that, a date with destiny. The next year, she moved into a 60/6, becoming the most perfect vision of what Selena wanted or needed. She would collect money from the fan club and send pictures, t-shirts, things of that nature. In 1994, Selena opened up her first boutiques in Texas called Selena Etc. She was so impressed with the way that Yolanda ran her fan club, she asked her to be her manager at the boutiques. Soon afterwards, many complaints were flowing in that Yolanda was nice when Selena was around, but she wasn't, and was vicious and mean when she wasn't around. Yolanda's relationship with Selena had turned to obsession. When the fans began to complain that they weren't receiving the items that they paid for, she was placed on Abraham's radar. In December of 1994, the boutiques began to fail. There were not enough funds to cover bills. Yolanda was cutting the staff in half. Meanwhile, Yolanda was embezzling huge amounts of money from the boutiques and the fan club. In December 1995, Abraham began to see the treachery that Yolanda was involved in. Yolanda was forging checks from the fan club and the boutique and keeping the money for herself. On March 9th of 1995, Selena and her sister Suzette and Abraham that's when they had that fateful meeting with Yolanda about the missing money. Yolanda claimed that all of the fans wanted stuff for free. However, she had opened up a bank account in her sister's name, then forging checks and putting them in that particular account. Although Selena wanted to maintain the friendship with Yolanda, on March 10th of 1995, Selena removed Yolanda's names from all the bank accounts. So the following day, Yolanda purchased a .38 caliber gun with hollow point bullets. Selena met with Yolanda and told her she would still remain in control of the Mexico boutiques. This calmed Yolanda down and she returned the gun. Yolanda then proceeded to steal money from the Mexico accounts. Selena again asked for the missing bank receipts. On March 27th, Yolanda repurchased the gun. On March 30th, Yolanda begged Selena to take her to the hospital, claiming that she'd been raped while she was in Mexico. Selena's husband, Chris, said no, but unbeknownst to him, she had decided to go back to see her the following morning by herself. Doctors determined that Yolanda was not raped and had made up the entire story. Selena was pissed off now, so she told Yolanda that they needed to cut ties. She would come by in the morning and pick up the missing bank receipts. On the 31st of March, 1995, Selena returns to Yolanda's motel room asking for the receipts, and that's when the argument ensues. That's when Selena grabs her bag and dumps it out looking for the receipts. That's when Yolanda grabs the gun that was in the bag and points it at Selena. So as Selena turns to run, Yolanda shoots her in the shoulder, severing a major artery right up here, so causing that extreme blood loss. So Selena would die shortly afterwards. Yolanda locks herself in her pickup truck, holding a gun to her head and wailing that she wanted to die. It takes hours of coaxing to get Yolanda out of the truck, where she's then taken into custody. While in custody, Yolanda spins a nice little tale of how things went. Although none of it had any basis in reality, she would claim that she was going to shoot herself, but then the gun just went off. Then she said that she told Selena that they couldn't see each other anymore, not the other way around. Still to this day, Yolanda lies when it comes to Selena. So what creates a Yolanda Saldivar? Let's get into her numbers. Yolanda was born on the 19th of September and was also a 19 soul vibration. Now, people that work on number 19 tend to be really insecure. The 1 makes them awkward and the 9 makes them want to blend in with everybody, but yet instead they stand out. So they're hypersensitive to criticism. They bite back if they ever feel attacked. So this creates this weird, vicious thing within them. So Yolanda is a 44-8 life lesson. The master number 44 creates big challenges, but it also offers great rewards if it's worked positively. But when it's worked in the negative, they can be very abusive of their power. They're supposed to create abundance through structure, steps, doing things the right way. The 8, however, when used negatively, they crave wealth and power, and they also will abuse their power, which Yolanda was very much known to do, especially when she was placed in a leadership role. She became very two-faced. She was showing one side to Selena and another side to the employees and the other people in her world. Selena couldn't see the bad side of Yolanda because all that she ever saw was her sugary sweet side. So that always created a conflict between Selena and the people that were surrounding her. So when I put Yolanda and Selena's souls together, I get a 53-8. Knight of Swords energy, very karmic, very intense. So when I put their life lesson combinations together, I've got Selena as a 38-11, which is your Queen of Cups. And we have Yolanda, which is a 44-8. And this is your 4 of Cups vibration. All right, so we put those two together. It's going to create an 82. Now the 82, this is someone who, it's basically, your 2 of Wands vibration in reverse. One person getting wealthy at the expense of somebody else. These kinds of partnerships are very, very negative if that's the way that it's expressed. I mean, you have to really vet the people that come into your life, because otherwise it takes your Wheel of Fortune and turns it upside down. So here's what we have here between these two on their life lessons. Okay. Now, if we move to their soul vibration, Selena's a 34, which is a 7, but it's, you know, 8 of Wands energy, lots of messages coming in, great things happening, big things happening. Okay, then we've got Yolanda, whose soul is a 19-1. But because she works that negatively, her insecurity, her need to blend in with other people, her, you know, just that creates this horrible Knight of Wands energy, which is a very negative Knight of Wands energy. Okay, so you get those two. This is the person that comes in very overzealous, super helpful, has the answer for everything, but really they create destruction and leave destruction in their wake. So now the way that they expressed, Selena expressed as a 35, which is an 8. Okay, and this is a person who, you know, can do battle if they need to, but they don't really want to. And sadly, it's like she didn't see the threat coming from Yolanda, who's a 40, okay? And I almost feel like Yolanda had her sights set on Selena as something more than what they really were. So the two of them created a 75. Okay, so here this is, it's happening here. This creates, with Yolanda, she gets very needy and clingy, needs constant words of encouragement, that she's doing the right thing, always trying to earn, you know, Selena's love and respect. But yet it's not really producing what she wants it to, which then makes her act out even more. But at the same time, that needy emotional quality that says, appreciate me, she starts to just funnel in the cash. That's her way of being appreciated. Now we get to their destinies. Selena was a 69. This is your Ace of Pentacles, okay? It breaks down to a 15-6, but 69, using her vision, her humanitarianism, wanting to create beautiful things, create wealth. And we have Yolanda's path of destiny, 59, okay? This is a treacherous number when it's not worked positively. So the two of them are going to create 128, which is basically justice, okay, 11, which then brings about, you know, Selena's life lesson is an 11, being too trusting, reaching out to this girl, trusting her, and she ends up completely screwing her over. That's how that worked out. Now let's take a look at these combinations between 1994 and 1995, okay, so Selena goes into a 43 personal year, 43, which is a 7. Now remember, her soul vibration is a 34, so this is going to have high importance for her. So right now, you know, she's feeling everybody's coming together, everybody's, you know, we're partying, we're having a good time, everything's great, things are happening, it's all about friendship, camaraderie. Who then comes in, you know, with Yolanda, who is in a 51-6. Now, your King of Swords in negative, basically. So that 6 is that, you know, creating the perfect picture, everything's great, but really she's acting in a horribly treacherous way in that 51-6, okay? Now we're going to fast forward to January of 1995. This is when Abraham starts to see that things are going wrong, okay? Now, let me backspace a little bit here. When we get these two put together, it creates a 94, which is basically, you know, you think you're getting all your wishes, but really you're not, okay? And that creates 9 + 4, 13, transformation, okay? This is not going to be a good combination for this particular year. All right, now let's go to January 1995. This is when Abraham's on to her. So Selena's in a 44 personal month, and she's like, you know, what the heck happened? She's not seeing it. She's looking down. She's like, how could she do this to me? How could she take my wealth? This is an 8, okay? And still really kind of having a hard time processing, even though the information's being handed to her, she's not really seeing it because she just has a really hard time believing that somebody could betray her, okay? And Yolanda is in a 52-7 personal month, meaning that her treachery has been brought to the surface, and now she's starting to calculate and think about what she's going to do. Okay, so now when we get into March of 1995, Selena is in a 46-1. Now, this is, friends from the past, whatever, but when it's worked like this, it means don't let that old friend return. There's no good that's going to come of this. And she gives Yolanda another chance in March, which really does create this particular vibration, not a positive one, okay? Yolanda is in a 54-9. This is where she's getting upsetting news. She's been revealed. This is not good, okay? That creates a straight 100, breaks down to a 1. You've got the magician working in the negative, going to create something not good. Also, her soul vibration, Yolanda's soul vibration, is a 19-1. This is a 1. Her birthday is a 19-1. This is a 1. This is using that 1 energy to create something not good. Okay? So now let's get into the days leading up. Okay, so we've got Selena is in a 26 not on the 26, she's in a 72, which is a 9, okay? Really not, that's your four of Pentacles vibration, she's seeing that she needs to hold on to her money, not really needing to put anything down, okay? On the 26th, Yolanda's in an 80, okay, which is an 8, and that's using your power, your will, in a negative way. So the two together create, it creates another version of an 8, which is just where this karma is really starting to come together. Whatever their purpose was, whatever they brought with them into this lifetime, it's going to come to a head. On the 27th, Selena is in a 73. That's your 5 of Pentacles vibration. Really feeling left out in the cold financially. Somebody has really screwed you over. And now Yolanda's in an 81. Now that 81 is going to be an ending vibration. 9. She's got the gun. She's ready to do what she's going to do. Okay. On the 28th, Selena goes into a 74. She's still feeling like, generous, wanting to give to other people. And Yolanda is in an 82 where she's going down the wrong path. She's already decided she's going down this very, very bad path. On the 29th, Selena goes into that 75. She's still not able to get these receipts. The wealth isn't there. Nothing's showing fruit. Everything she's asked for has not come through. Yolanda goes into an 83. Which is really Selena's life lesson. She's already planned her fate, and she's working this in the negative. An 11, injustice, it's being done. Now on the 30th, this is the day that Yolanda says that she was raped. Selena's in a 76, which is a 4. She's learning. She's learning things. She's learning that this person has really screwed her over, which is upsetting her foundation. Yolanda's in an 84. She's creating this 3 vibration, feel sorry for me, I'm needy, not good, okay? Now on the 31st, we've got Selena in a 77, okay? She's feeling strong. She's 9 of Pentacles, trusting, but that master number 77, that is your ultimate betrayal. When it's worked in the negative, you've got a master number 77, double betrayal. Creates a 5. She goes in, thinking the best, and this person does not have her best interest at heart. Yolanda's in an 85, which breaks down to a 13 for death of a situation. The two of them together, that would create a 162, which is a straight 9 endings. And this is where she ultimately reaches her end. Now, sadly, back here, we didn't have as much use to technology as we do now. Any background check would have shown that Yolanda had stolen and embezzled money from her previous employer. And that's why she was fired. But none of that information had come to light. I really feel like this was a very karmic relationship between the two of them, something that they brought with them into this lifetime. There was a lot going on. There was, Yolanda knew way too much, and she says that they have this secret that, you know, she's taking to the grave, but yet when she got pressed on it, she'd start to spill. You know, she was trying to say that Selena was having an affair with this doctor in Mexico. That's Ricardo Martinez, I believe was his name. He was sending her flowers. He loaned her thousands of dollars. And so I'm not sure what was going on there. I know that this doctor really wanted something with her, but, you know, she was in love with her husband. So this secret of, I'm thinking that's what it was. Yolanda will try to make it sound like, you know, the two of them were mother and daughter, or that she loved her and this and that it was just a lot of shit. And I think the trusting soul, you know, and the powerhouse that was Selena, she just didn't see it coming. She didn't see her coming. So these are really cautionary tales again, that when somebody's acting way too overzealous, like they're so incredibly happy to be there, and you're hearing people that are telling you opposite stories, you really need to listen to that, because this woman was just absolutely treacherous. And she still, to this day, is this creepy woman who will pathologically lie and tell these tales and these stories about, oh, I ended it with her, and, you know, I told her we couldn't be together anymore, and this and that. Just such a bunch of crap. And it was such a waste, you know. And we all got to know Selena when Jennifer Lopez played her in the movie Selena, and if you haven't seen it, do see it. But, you know, you can't help but fall in love with this girl. She's just adorable, and she had a great energy about her, great personality, and really rose up against a lot of challenges. Their life was very challenging. They had extreme money struggles from the time that she was little. And then when she starts making money, you know, she wants to share it. She's very generous. And that's where you get these sinister fucktards that'll come in and steal your wealth. And so it really was. It's just so sad. I mean, still, it makes me cry. I can't watch the movie without crying. It's just a really, really sad tale. And I'm sure that there's so much guilt from the family, like feeling like, God, we should have seen it, or why didn't we do something? But Selena's a 3811, and she's going to be strong. She's got that 8, that power, that I know what's right, I'm going to go do it, you know, mixed with that 3, that compassionate 3, and then creating the 11. And I'm an 11, and I understand. We never think that people are going to be bad. We always give people the benefit of the doubt, that they're not going to burn us. And then when they do, it's just like, wow, you know, because it's just not your initial thought as a light worker of an 11 who comes in and thinks the world's good and nobody would hurt me, and then they end up getting hurt. So this is a really sad story, but this is the reality of what happened, and I hope that woman stays in prison forever, because she's a nasty, horrible, psycho person. But so this is part 2 of Women Who Kill Yolanda Saldivar. Let me know who else you want. There another female out there that we want to do a background story on. Happy Mother's Day. Have a great day.